going to show you guys what my favorite pair of headphones is. So stay tuned and we're going to jump right into it, checking out a whole bunch of headphones to use with Apple. All right, so here we are, whole bunch of headphones that I've got, and I think that I'm going to cut right to the chase. If you're wondering what qualifications I have to check out headphones, I don't have any qualifications. I'm more of a speaker guy. I have a whole bunch of loudspeakers, build loudspeakers, sell them. If you're interested in loudspeakers, I got more than I need. But I was really getting into the headphones because of the Apple ecosystem. And with the video editing that I do, it's really important that I have a good set of headphones so that I can kind of hear exactly, like, as true to life what the video is going to sound like. Starting with the favorite. Yeah, my favorite is the Powerbeats Pro. Powerbeats Pro. These ones are cool, and I'm going to tell you really quick why. Is that these don't have noise canceling. Now you might say, well, that sounds stupid. Wouldn't you want it? With these, I'm thinking no. This is my favorite pair of headphones. They work really well. They fit in your ear really well. I think that one thing, it's an improvement that you can make. I know I had to go this route, but basically, you can buy different earbuds for it, or those little silicone things. I would highly recommend investing in a bunch of different sizes. The ones that I have on here, they're just maybe a couple millimeters longer than the stock ones that came with it. So it makes all the difference in the way that they sound. That's huge. That's the number one thing you could do, is make sure that your little tip that fits in your ear, that thing is in there nice, it's sealing, and it's comfortable. The Powerbeats Pro, why I'm picking those. Okay, they are the winner because they have the H1 chip in it. For you guys that don't know Apple stuff, H1 chip communicates to your devices and it says, hey, you know what? I'm in front of you, I'm on. When you put this on your ear, it automatically knows that it's on your ear. It starts the music or whatever it is, and then it pauses it. So that's all really cool. Really downside to this, which is the same thing that everybody mentions, it's the size of the case. And so for that reason, even though this is my favorite set of headphones, the case is big. I gotta tell you, it really is. With that being said, I do carry around these Beats Studio Buds Plus, and these are really, really nice, okay? The Beats Studio Buds Plus, they're really teeny tiny little things. These, they just lock into your ear. Just kind of rest them in there, and then you just give them a kind of a quarter twist. Now these have noise canceling. They also have noise transparency, as do one or two of these other ones, a few of them actually. So let me tell you what the difference is, okay? When we're talking about noise canceling versus not noise canceling, this is what they consider passive noise canceling on the Powerbeats Pro. And on the Studio Buds Plus, okay, this is a little bit different. It's got a mechanism in it that basically can block sound, or it can actually amplify sound, or you can just turn it off altogether, and then it's just passive. So here's the deal. These things, the reason I like that passive noise cancellation versus anything else is that I don't care which technology it is, these ones with the noise canceling, it's kind of funky, it kind of plays tricks in your ears. I don't know how to describe it. Some people say they get headaches. Some people say they feel pressure. Some people say they feel claustrophobic. I can tell you from my personal experience that, turn on noise cancellation, like if it's a noisy environment, that's cool. I mean, it makes sense. You know, maybe you got fans going or something and you're trying to relax, what have you. Yeah, noise canceling on. Now, I did find the noise transparency, it's called, very, very cool. Yeah, so basically where was I now? It's hell getting old, ain't it? Brain farts. All right, anyway, like I say, I mean, you can check out the details of these headphones on other guys' videos. I mean, if I can find some links to them, I'll throw them in the description. But I mean, there's a lot of people out there testing headphones, going so far as to like measure the frequency response and all that. I'm just going to tell you from my personal perspective, my opinion, as someone who enjoys speakers, like big loudspeakers, right? And into building them, and I like live music and things like that. I'll just say this right out of the box here. I never was a fan of headphones. Something about them, they just don't sound as good to me as speakers do. It's, you know, it seems to me like the spatial imaging, that stereo effect, kind of loses its magic. And the fact that you're not, I don't know, maybe your ears are used to or accustomed to hearing reverberation or echo. Like right now, this room is absolutely horrible for acoustics. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to be changing this whole home theater system thing around. But that being said, these guys can wear them pretty much any time. And they are ultra comfortable once you have them dialed in. They're really, really comfortable when you get them dialed in. The hooks on them are really nice. They're sturdy. These actually lock onto your ear, which is really cool. Once you get them fit the way you like them, you just give them again, a quarter turn. They turn on automatically. And then if something's playing, it'll start playing. If you take it out of your ear, it'll pause the music. These get plenty loud. They have a nice amount of bass to them, a lot of nice, bass kick. I would say if any of these headphones sound the most like speakers, it would be these. So again, that's another reason that I like them too. I'm probably drawn to them because the Powerbeats Pro actually kind of, to me anyway, if you have headphones on, and you're not getting that stereo speaker, fix, that this is about the closest thing to it. And you can really jam with these. Also, I took these out bike riding. I wouldn't have taken any of the other ones out for bike riding. I mean, I'm not going to ride around with this stuff on my head. And these little bitty things, they might fall out and get run over or something like that. These ones here, I'll talk about in a minute, the Beats Fit Pro, they actually do have like an insert thing that locks into your ear. Probably hold it better during cycling, but those have noise cancellation. And what that noise cancellation does, man, is when you are outside, wow, heavy wind blows, people yelling, whatever. It's like it just knocks it down, right? So it sounds really funny. So like, for example, at a soccer game, I had some classical music playing in the background, had it on transparency mode, and it's really nice. As soon as somebody yells, though, it's like the headphones just try to combat that and just block that loud sound. So it results in just this really up and down and up and down, completely like for riding a bicycle with those on, or maybe even jogging. I don't know. Not a big fan of it. If you turn them on noise cancellation, then it's kind of funky, because then you get that weird kind of feeling in your ears, like I don't know. It's hard to describe. It's not really a loss of equilibrium. It's almost like a surreal sense about things, because the sound is completely blocked out, or for the most part blocked out, and all you're hearing is what's coming through the headphones. So yeah, it's a little bit disorienting, and honestly, I would much rather hear if traffic's rolling up behind me. And that is, again, an advantage of these. You don't ever have to worry about what setting they're on because they're just passive, right? And that passive it's kind of amazing. Like, you can turn up the volume on these and it pretty much, just the passive part of it blocks out most sound. But you know, when you're listening to them like at a low to moderate volume, like I do when I'm cycling, so that I can hear what's going on behind me, and hear if cars are coming, you can actually hear it quite well on the outside. And you don't hear wind rushing by, which was a huge problem with the ones with the noise cancellation, is hearing that wind rushing by. I did not like that. So maybe more aerodynamic, I'm not sure. Okay, so I would say the Powerbeats Pro, if you had to get one set of headphones, this would be it. Unless you have to carry them around, in which case I would probably recommend, if you're going to be carrying them around a lot, I would probably recommend these. These are the other ones that I gravitate toward, is the Beats Studio Buds Plus, what are they, Studio Buds Plus Pro or something like that. It takes a lot of practice, believe it or not. It's going to sound super funny. It takes a lot of practice to learn which bud goes where and how they go in this little case. It's hard to explain. And then once like now I know how to do it, so I can do it in the dark and I get them in there. But yeah, it took weeks to really get the hang of it. I don't know why it's so complicated. I've heard other reviewers say the same thing. One advantage to the Beats Studio Buds is that it has a USB-C connector on it. So Powerbeats Pro, it has a lightning cable, okay? The lightning cable, it's okay. I mean, I don't have anything else with lightning. My wife has an old iPad that has a lightning cable, but everything else we have is USB-C. I think that probably I would think that Apple would come out with a Powerbeats Pro that's got the USB-C. That would really finish off that one. I already talked about my favorites, which is the Powerbeats Pro, and I talked about my second favorite, which is the Beats Studio Buds Plus. So Powerbeats Pro and the Studio Buds Plus, I would say these are my favorites. I also did like the Apple Pro Gen 2s. Those were nice too. I actually bought a set of those, used them, tested them. I liked them. They work really well for sound canceling. The sound is really neutral and flat. Great for phone calls and things like that. For music, it didn't really do much for me for the music. I mean, if you're gonna listen to low music, like while you're working or something, it's okay. If you really want to, jam though, yeah, not really the jamming type of headphones. You turn them up actually, and they sound kind of chintzy, I'm gonna get some hate comments for that, I'm sure. But no, really, honestly, I mean, you got to remember, I'm coming from a speaker builder's perspective, right? So, speaker guys, I mean, we're used to, sound up to 120 dB, you know what I'm saying? I mean, live music and stereo systems and stuff like that, that stuff's loud. And what does that have to do with the headphones? Well, when you do turn them up, you want to get some impact out of it, right? And it's just, if the headphones don't deliver that impact, especially at a higher volume, yeah, I mean, it's not really much point in having them. Okay, getting into that. Okay, so I tried those. I also had the really cheap $19, $20 Earpods with the USB-C. These are good. I mean, $20, that was my first purchase actually for headphones, was this one. And, as far as for the Apple stuff, worked fine for me. Having a cord dangling around is obviously not the greatest. Carrying around is a little bit of a challenge. So, as far as those go, if you need headphones, get them. You would have to have, they sell them with a lightning thing too. So yeah, lightning or USB-C. So either way, but yeah, if you're really limited on funds, I would recommend these. These are pretty good. At the far end of the scale is the AirPod Maxes. And these are, these are nice. But they sell for like crazy money, like $500 or something for these headphones. And, I got them used, paid probably closer to, I don't know, $250, $300 for them. Are they worth that? To try them? Yeah, I guess so, You'd really have to, there's two things about these. They're heavy. They're very heavy. And they do fit decent, but again, they're heavy and they're pinching on your head. The cool thing is they are powered by the H1 chip, just like the Powerbeats Pro. So these do turn on and off automatically. The biggest difference here is that the Studio Buds Plus, these don't have the actual automatic in-ear detection, whereas these ones do. So that part is pretty cool. So do the Beats Fit Pro, which I can get to in a minute. But the Apple AirPods Max, yeah, they sound good. I mean, they sound good. I used to listen to headphones back when I was younger and into, gosh, I think the best set I had was called Sennheiser or something like that. But, corded, going into the Harman Kardon amp and everything. And those were really nice. And another pair I had back in the day that I really did like, I would listen to them. I was young. I was living at home with my mom. I was a teenager, but they were made by Koss, and they had like a foam cup on them. Those actually sounded really nice. I would say, I don't know. I was a kid back then, but to me, they sounded as good as the Sennheisers did, which I paid way more money for. All right, so yeah, the AirPod Max Pro. Boy, I bet you these things are just a technological marvel, and I'm not giving them enough credit. But, as far as adjustability goes, yeah, they're about the most adjustable over-the-head headphones you can get. And they got noise cancellation that's pretty good, actually. They are, you know what? I think this is a lightning power thing. Yeah, if I remember right, it is. So that's a little bit of a dopey thing to have on like a super brand new device, right? I did use these connected to the Apple TV to watch a little bit of a movie. That sounded really cool. Had the noise cancellation on, had the movie going, listen to these. I think that if anything, these are a solution to a surround sound system. If you don't live somewhere where you can have the regular, like big home theater like this, right? If you live in an apartment or something, or, sharing a house, or, maybe you got just a room someplace, these aren't going to bother anybody. And you can really, you could sit here and watch a movie with these on, and it sounds really nice. I know that they say, I don't know, these are supposed to be lossless capable, I think, by use of the cord itself. I don't think that they can carry uncompressed music through it when they're just Bluetooth. But that being said, even the compressed stuff that comes through here from the television, it shows that it's coming through like in Atmos and in 5.1 and Dolby Digital Plus and all that. So it sounds really cool. It does. I think that these are like your perfect home theater speakers for people that don't have a big home theater. I mean, for $500, $600, you could get these and not have to worry about, you know, $5,000 worth of equipment, and the bulk of it and everything else, and bugging your neighbors and whatnot. So yeah, these are cool for that. Sitting there watching TV and movies, very cool. I like these a lot for that purpose. All right, well, those are those. I had got another pair of headphones. These are the Power Beats 3. And I got these because I had read an article that said basically the Power Beats 3 sound profile is very much like the Power Beats Pro sound profile. I would say yes and no to that. They do have a distinct sound quality all on their own. It is probably somewhere along the caliber of, say, maybe the Beats Fit Pro, which I'll get into in a minute. Maybe the Beats Studio wireless, maybe even these. I mean, it's close. It's a good sounding headphone. Downside to it is it's got this cord on it. That's really the worst part about it, is the cord. Aside from that, they're essentially very much like these. They're just a passive design. But these I had gotten, you know, for like $49. So it's a lot of headphone for $49. These have a little bit older style chip in them too. So these, the Apple phones, all your Apple devices will recognize them, but there's none of that fancy like spatial audio. There's no automatic ear detection. You have to power them on and off from a button. They don't just turn on automatically. So, but at least any Apple device will pick these up. So it's pretty cool. Volume is adjusted with this thing here, which is really in a bad place. And these go on just like the Power Beats Pro. Basically, you get them dialed in where you like them with this flexible hook, and then you give them a kind of a quarter turn, and they go into place. These fit really nice. I did have to use the same aftermarket cheapo silicone things, because the ones that came with it were actually too small, like too short, you know. Hold that thought. Hey, babe. Hey. Yeah, I could hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, but did you choose the FaceTime button?
Could I choose the FaceTime button? Yes.
Yeah, are you?
Yep.
I'm trying to FaceTime you.
Okay. Let's see here. What do we got going on now? I'm actually on my I'm on my AirPod Max. Yeah, AirPod Maxes. And the noise canceling is on, and it's really weird. No, I mean, like I've got it on, but it's almost like when you're, I think I figured it out. What this is like, it's like when you have a really bad cold or flu or something, or sinus infection, and your ears are just completely plugged. Like that's kind of what the feeling and sensation is with the noise canceling on. That being said, I think I can turn it off with maybe one of these buttons up here. I know this one is for volume, and I believe it's maybe to connect it. I'm not sure. Okay, yeah. So now this is transparent mode, and this is really cool, because with transparent mode, what it does is it's almost like a hearing aid. I mean, it really brings in a lot of sound. When I was using it at the soccer game, it was like, what can I say about it? I could hear everything going on, okay? And as a matter of fact, like right now, even though I'm recording this and I'm not sure if you can hear it, but I can hear this TV thing going behind me. And I'm not even sure what's playing, but they're talking in the background. So anyway, and then the other mode is, let's see, noise cancellation, and that's off, right? Noise cancellation, that's the transparency mode. Okay, this has got to be, this is just off. So yeah, this is just off. It's got really good passive sound deadening. So good, in fact, it's probably better than the active noise cancellation on these ones that pop in your ears. And then, yeah, and then this is noise cancellation. So this is like the maximum noise cancellation that you're going to get out of one of these products. Second place would be the Airpod Pro Gen 2. But these are just like over the top. Like, I mean, like I said, it feels weird in your head, like you got a super stuffy head or something like that. But in terms of like blocking out sound and then listening to something in the background, like a movie, like coming through here, it's awesome. But if you had anybody in the room with you, you would probably want to put it, well, these ones you might want to put on transparent. Boy, do they work good on transparency though. But yeah, I was using the other set, I was actually using the Beats Fit Pro at a soccer game, and I had them on transparency mode so that I could listen to music in the background, just some nice classical music while I'm watching soccer games and stuff go on, and still be able to hear real good. And it actually increased my ability to hear. I could hear things a little more amplified than I could without them in. The downside to it though is that things like people yelling, clapping, even like a big rush of wind, it'll put it into like a protect mode, like a noise cancellation mode. It goes, it just locks down on your ears, so it's kind of weird. I definitely don't think you'd be riding around in the well, you wouldn't want to be like on a bicycle or a motorcycle or even driving a car or anything with noise canceling on. Not a good idea. And I think that's probably one of the reasons why, you know, the Beats Fit Pro, not Beats Fit Pro, the Power Beats Pro is like the solution to that, because these are just, they're just passive. I mean, but they sound good. I keep coming back to these and saying that, don't I? Okay. Oh, one other thing about these, before I forget. I did take these on a bike ride, and I tried to record it, a phone call with my wife and I, and unfortunately, for whatever reason, I don't know, I couldn't record a phone call. So I'm not that Apple Ecotech friendly to know how to record a phone call yet. But the sound quality on these was really, really good. I mean, like my wife, like when I was riding my bicycle along, and the wind speed outside was like 10, 15 miles an hour. But I was riding my bike, and like at 9, 10 miles an hour, talking to her, I heard her clear as a bell. You don't, like with these on, you're really not gonna, oh yeah, these just click right on. But yeah, they didn't have any, like I didn't hear any rushing wind. I could hear her clearly, and she said it sounded like I was just like sitting still or something. Like she said she could tell I was outside, but she couldn't tell I was riding a bicycle at 10 miles an hour. Then I went ahead and I tested it, ramped it up a little bit, and 15 miles an hour, 20 miles an hour into the wind. And as that speed and wind progresses, then she said, yeah, she could tell that, you know, that it was windy or whatever, but she could still hear me and we could still talk, which was quite amazing. And that's where actually, when I got going 20 miles an hour into the wind, into a 10 mile an hour wind, so I'm doing 20, the wind is doing, you know, coming at me at 10, like, these things have plenty of volume, because I started to get to the point where I couldn't really hear her too good, but she could hear me. But these do have really good volume, and you can touch it with either hand. So no matter what you're like, one hand on a handlebar or whatever, and whatever your sport is, right? At least you can adjust the volume and answer the calls from either one of these. You can also just use one at a time if you want to. So they really do work outside. I've watched some tests on the different headphones, and especially the Beats, and you know, I've heard other people also say that the call quality on the, what are these things called? Power Beats Pro, that the sound quality on there is really probably the best, the call quality, which is kind of strange, because really the sound, you know, I'm talking mainly about sound quality with these headphones, and the other ones, you know, maybe a couple other ones don't have that great sound quality, but those, I don't know how they work outside. I have second thoughts about that whole noise cancellation thing outside. Not a big fan of it. Okay, let's get right back into where I was. You're gonna notice that everything is a mess and not like it was. I had a FaceTime call come in from my wife, and that's another thing I love about the Apple ecosystem is the FaceTime. It's so cool. I mean, yeah, I know Android, you know, you could use a Google Meet or a Duo call or whatever, but there's nothing like hitting that little green, you know, it looks like a little movie camera. Just press that, pick your contact, and as long as they got an iPhone or iPad or a MacBook Pro or even an iMac, you can use that FaceTime over it. So it's really cool. All right, I'm gonna kind of rearrange the camera here and get you in for a closer look. It's kind of funny how quickly one little phone call can throw you all off. All right, let's see. So let's get a nice close-up going for y'all. All right, so where were we? Okay, so I was talking about how nice these did, what a nice job they did of noise cancellation. And honestly, I'll tell you what, I really didn't, at 500 or 600 bucks, man, this would be I guess if you wanted them brand new, it's okay, you know, I mean, it is what it is. Like, it could replace your home theater. Like, if you lived in an apartment or something, you didn't want a home theater, like this could do that for you. You couldn't wear them more than a few hours, I'm sure, because they, you know, it would get uncomfortable after a while. Even though for headphones, these aren't horrible, but it's still not something it's not like having an earbud in. You can pretty much, you know, if they're comfortable, they can stay in there as long as you want, almost. But yeah, so I don't know. These are going to be really good for doing video editing, though. So I don't know, video editing and watching movies, you know, at the volume you want to hear a movie, even late at night or something, middle of the night. That would work. Yeah, these would work good. So let me put these kind of off to the side here. So that's the AirPod Max, the Beat Studio 3 wireless. You saw me pull these off of this box, and I'll tell you why. It's because this clamping mechanism, it's all plastic, and it's got a memory. Like, I mean, so most of the time, if you want them to be comfortable, just maybe leave them on a box or leave them on a chair or something to where they're being stretched out a little bit, because that way, when you put them on, they're actually not horrible. They don't fit as good as these, but they're literally half as heavy. And these are actually pretty nice too. These have active noise cancellation. It's not super strong. With it off, It's just the passive portion of it. So these do not have, I don't think these have transparency mode though. So that's, that's something that, I don't know, love it or leave it, I guess. Let's see. Let me try to turn these guys on. Okay, so they're on. The noise canceling is on. This noise canceling, I can hear a little bit of something that sounds like a fan, like a very faint fan going in the background, almost like a staticky sound. It's not annoying or anything like that. Hey, when you're old school, right, and you grew up on old receivers, you're used to hearing a little bit of noise in the background in between songs and stuff, right? But yeah, these are pretty nice. And let's see, another press of the button and I can turn off. Yeah, so now it's just passive. And I can actually hear pretty well through these. I do think that you wouldn't want to wear these outside, I don't think, on a bicycle or a motorcycle or anything. But I think you could probably wear them maybe, if you were outside, washing a car, gardening, whatever, something like that. In the gym, probably something like that. Yeah, because you could hear it through them pretty good. And the controls are really easy to reach, the volume and skip and everything. It's just all right in here. And the noise cancellation thing is on this side. So, and the noise cancellation, it's honestly, it's on by default. Let me turn it back on. Okay. All right, so, okay, so yeah, the noise cancellation is back on now. So the sensation, I'm not, it doesn't cause as much of a equilibrium thing as like this here goes. That sensation in your head, it's a little bit less than that. So I would say maybe for long-term use, I don't know, 6 to 1, half does the other, but I don't know, these don't really feel like they're bothering me too much in terms of like feeling like out of kilter, so to speak. But the music quality on these is, yeah, man, it's actually, I'd like to turn them on right now. It's good. It's real good. It reminds me a lot of the Power Beats Pro, in that these have a very, very dynamic sound quality to them. I mean, they really, the sound quality of the Studio, or the Power Beats Pro, and the Beats Studio Wireless 3, pretty close in terms of sound character, clarity, imaging, very similar. However, that being said, I think that the Power Beats Pro can deliver a little more smack on the bottom end, because they're kind of sealed. Whereas this, I just don't think that these have the same kind of bass smack that the other ones do. I mean, these are probably just as good, if not better, probably better for like low bass, very low, like subwoofer bass, right? But as far as like that, say 40 hertz to 100 hertz range, I think that I think that these don't deliver it quite the way that the Power Beats Pro does. But sound quality, really no complaints. I mean, for the price, a couple $100, yeah, they're pretty good. Yeah, pretty good. Let me turn them off. Make sure they're off. Okay, so yeah, that's off. This is nice too. It's got kind of like a meter, shows you the battery power, so that's kind of nice. But they are, the funniest thing is that they're a micro USB power charger thing. I mean, what are they thinking? USB-C, man. Put USB-C on these things. Actually, I think the newest iteration of these actually is USB-C, if I'm not mistaken. They're just called Studio Pros, I think. These are the Studio 3 wireless. All right, moving right along here. One of the, let's see, these guys here, the Power Beats 3. Now I had gotten these. This one was actually one of the first ones I bought, and it is very, very similar to the Beats Pro in terms of the way that it looks. Except the Beats Pro is a better build. This rubber piece, it's just smoother, it's stiffer, it's more. Like when you place it, it doesn't move around as much, a little more comfortable. And the body of it is made a little bit different too, because this has got the sensors and stuff in it, and the fancier chip. This is an H1 chip. So these are, you'll be able to connect these to your Apple device, no problem, but you do have a physical like on off button. As far as volume goes, you know what, honestly, I don't even remember if I figured out how to use the volume on these or not. Oh yeah, it's right here. It's on the cord, that's right. And which is in a horrible spot, by the way. Let's see. Yeah, no sound canceling or anything on these. Twist lock, passive. Oh, one other weird thing about that is that the lighter plastic build on these and the cord hanging around the neck causes a lot of noise in your ears. Like it just transmits right through the plastic, whereas these, there's none of that really. Matter of fact, let's see, I'll put one of these guys in. Yeah, I mean, you'd have to literally like tap on it for it to even make any kind of an annoying sound. All right. Those guys. The case charges all this stuff, so that's pretty cool. These need a cord, and again, micro USB. Micro USB, like what? All right, what else we got going on here? Okay, this is a really, really, really funny one. Oh, before I do that, I'm gonna jump on to another corded set. This is just a cheapo pair from Amazon, like maybe 20, 30 bucks. And they are not bad, not awful. Are they as good as these for, say, if you can score some for 50 to 70 bucks? I would say no, not really. Because these things are not built as good. They're really floppy, flimsy. The sound quality is nowhere near as good. And if you are an Apple user, they don't connect as easily either. So about the only thing that these got going for them, I'll be honest with you. The cord is just a little bit longer, like an inch longer or so, which doesn't seem like a lot, but it is definitely handy when it's hanging behind you. I'm not sure exactly, this is maybe, I don't know, I'm not a huge guy, but these are, I've got this thing all the way at the end because these things are kind of tight around the neck. Not tight, but annoying. Always rubbing it. Always rubbing the neck. Okay. What's the next one? Oh, Beats Fit Pro. Let's see, the Beats Fit Pro. Now these folks, the Beats Fit Pro, let me find these guys. This is a really, really fascinating story. That's not the right box. This is. And you know why? Because they have, literally, they make fakes of these things. So the real deal will always show you, it'll connect to your, like if you have an Apple device, it'll connect to the Apple device and it'll have a serial number and all that stuff. It'll recognize it automatically. It shows that it's one of your devices. Like you can use the Find device thing, Find Me thing on the Apple. to find these. But yeah, I had gotten kind of bamboozled. This is the actual real ones here. That's the real McCoy. Okay. But I'd gotten bamboozled into buying some clones. And I didn't even know that they were clones. I mean, to look at them when I pulled them out and everything, I'm like, okay. Yeah, I thought they were Beats. They're not all that different, except the sound. And the sound is more equivalent to like the $30 Amazon headphones. So it's not horrible. It's not horrible, but it's not Beats quality or Apple quality, obviously. And then the other interesting thing was these have like a little metal, I don't know if you can see that or not, a little metal thing here. I don't have the rubber tip on here, but the actual real Beat one, it's just got like a black felt or something there. So that was a little bit interesting, comparing those. And I'll try to actually give you a better look at that. See what the difference is there. So, but yeah, this is what I did have to go out of my way, and I wanted to test all the Beats and Apple headphones and stuff. So I did go out of my way, and I got the Beats Fit Pro. My impressions of the Beat Fit Pro is they're good. They're okay. They are definitely easier to carry around than the big box with the Power Beats. You can slip in your pocket, whatever, purse, anything. They got the auto on off thing, and they lock into your ear good. Sound is more of a neutral sound. It's not the signature Power Beats or signature Power Beats sound, like more musical kind of. This is more, I think, along the lines of multi-purpose phone call. Taking phone calls, maybe listening to background music, kind of more along the same line as the AirPod Pro Gen 2, because it doesn't have a lot of, I mean, it sounds better musically than like the Apple one did, but it's still not anything like these other ones in terms of the delivery of music. So take that for whatever you want to, but yeah, those are really nice headphones. They do cause a little bit of irritation on the inside of your ears, and if you're laying down, you wouldn't want to roll over because you press the buttons on them. And the buttons on those are programmable for, I think, volume and skip, maybe. What else I got to show you here? Let's see, I showed you the phonies. I showed you the real Beats Fit Pro. I know I didn't say a whole lot about the Beats Fit Pro. To be honest with you, it's, I don't, maybe I'm gonna get so much hate comments from Apple people. No, I mean, these are the clones, but the real ones. I do like them because they're small. That part I like, and I like that they're a USB-C port. So that part is definitely cool. It's USB-C. Yeah. The Beats Studios that I talked about, these ones are also USB-C. I think that I believe that they're going to come out with a USB-C Power Beats pretty soon. And like I say, I think that actually the new Studio is a USB-C, and I'm not sure. I don't think the Apple AirPod Max is a USB-C yet. Okay, well anyway, wow, that was a lot, and I hope maybe you gained a little bit of information from this, and if you have questions about any of the particulars of these, you can just ask in the comments below. Yeah, I'd be happy to answer any questions I can for you. But as far as like my take on it, I was primarily looking at it just in terms of sound quality. And again, to kind of wrap this up for sound quality on at least these that I demonstrated here, I'm going to give you my, as long as I have all of them right now, I pretty much can use them for whatever I want to, which is kind of cool because then I can let you know, like, hey, which ones do I gravitate toward for what, right? So I would say that the Studio Buds Plus are kind of my go-to as far as like if I'm going somewhere, slip them in that little watch pocket, you know, in my jeans or just whatever that's small enough to carry anywhere, holds a good charge. I've never ran out of power on them. And, you know, if you're trying to listen to a quick news alert or something, you just pop it in and you can use one, you can use both. They've got the noise cancellation in case you want to chill out. They've got, you know, so they are probably the most comfortable out of all of them. So they're going to fall out probably if you try bike riding or exercising or something. But like for sitting around the house or being in the car or something like that, or you know, whatever, just trying to get to sleep at night or something. Sometimes I'll throw on the sleep classical stuff from Apple Music, and these have spatial audio, so it's kind of nice. It sounds good. And the spatial audio, by the way, a lot of people love it, a lot of people hate it. What spatial audio is I'm just putting these here so you kind of see what they look like. So much for that. Anyway, so spatial audio. So it does a couple things, okay? And most of the headphone reviews that I've seen that are featuring all of the Beats products and the Apple products that have this, you know, spatial audio, they really, they don't like it usually. They say it sounds weird. Here's what it does, okay, is that you set it up, it maps your head, okay? And for someone like me, who's more accustomed to listening to like a stereo, it's definitely more like that. So what the spatial audio does is if you know, so when you're facing forward, let's say, it sounds like the music's coming directly from you. You get this, you know, whatever stereo imaging, as much of it as headphones can reproduce, which in my mind isn't much. I think that regular speakers do a better job, but hey, it is what it is. Anyway, yeah, so basically, you know, you can turn your head and it sounds like you're turning your head in front of speakers. So in other words, if I was facing like this and I'm listening, right? And then I turn like this, the sound changes. You know, my sweet spot is now gone. I'm listening to other reflections and things like that. So however you turn your head, right? That's what the spatial audio does, is it makes the sound field fixed in one location. And I think that's kind of what throws people off with that. Like I say, as a stereo guy, I kind of like it. I kind of dig it. The other thing that it does is, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I believe it also is what delivers the compressed Atmos. I'm going to say that with a hunch. I think that that's what it does, because when I have been listening to, like I said, listening to the TV and things like that, or the spatial audio that's on the Apple Music app, it's like, it kind of changes it. It turns it more into like a surround sound type of sensation, as opposed to a fixed stereo location, if that makes any sense. So if you're listening to just straight up whatever, you know, whatever your favorite playlist is on Spotify, let's say, right? The spatial audio is going to sound like it's fixed and you're turning your head, right? That's how it's going to sound. Now, if you are using it with the Apple Music and the spatial audio, there's a whole bunch of different recordings and playlists and stuff that are in spatial audio, And that's delivering that compressed, more 5.1 or at most 7.1 or 7 point, maybe even a 9.1. I'm not sure, but it's yeah, it's just, it adds a lot more kind of like ambiance to it, makes it more surround soundish. All right, well, hey, I can't tell you how much I appreciate the fact that you watch these videos that I make. It's exciting. No, I'm looking forward to where this channel is going to go in the future. So anyway, thank you for coming along with me through this journey. Like I say, I'm going to be pushing out videos, boom, 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 boom. Hopefully, like over the next couple of weeks here, I'm going to be recording them and trying to turn them into the videos that I will then upload to YouTube. So hit the subscribe button. Notification bell is optional. I don't put out a ton of videos. Like, I'm not, some of these channels I subscribe to, man, it's like ding, ding, ding. You know, how many videos can you put on a channel, right? So no, mine are once in a while, you know, once a week if I'm lucky. I used to try to do 2 a week and that was nuts. So I'm honestly, I think I'm doing about one every month, one every few weeks. I think that this little bit of time here is going to be kind of a rare thing where I'm doing more. But yeah, so if you turn on the notification bell, chances of you getting annoyed by my videos always popping up as notifications are like next to nothing. So I appreciate you subscribing. I appreciate you giving me a thumbs up, and comments help a great deal too. So put your thoughts down in the comments below and let me know what you think about all these headphones, what you think about anything I said in this video, whatever's on your mind. Drop it in the comments. I'm easy to talk to. I read all those comments. I try to reply to all of them. So yeah, thanks again, and I will catch you in the next video. Thanks again.